Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we are back playing Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts Taskmaster Edition, where we're competing against other YouTubers. Now, this is the third season. We actually won the first two seasons, June and July. Let's see whether we can carry that into August. Now, the first episode last week did actually went pretty well for us. We did come in first there with 5 points. Brother Monroe at 3 points, and Stelz and Spartan Elite at 4 points respectively. Now, that's not all there is to that, because there is a twist in the third season which does give us season points. And these season points can only be earned by completing a certain set of tasks across the entire season, so it's not quite clear who can get them, but we can get points if we don't suffer any ship hits, ships sunk, if we don't suffer any torpedo hits, if we don't suffer any critical damage, we actually get 2 points. We get points for exploding enemy ships, and here's the important one: we do get a point for the most ships, cheapest ship award. So the person who designs the most cheapest ships across the entire season will get a bonus point. And this is interesting because we are ahead of that by now with a single design. The last design, the first design in this season, was the cheapest on our end. Now, here's what I'm thinking. For now, that is not a significant lead. However, if we can repeat that feat in this episode, we are basically looking at a situation where we have a 2-point lead in that category, and it is technically possible for anyone else to catch up to that, or at least draw with us in the remaining 3 weeks of August. It is going to be pretty difficult for them. And that basically forces them to either accept that we're going to get these bonus points, which is going to be difficult for them because at that point, provided I don't lose any other points, we would be at a 3-point lead basically, and that would make it hard for them to catch up. So they would have to take certain risks, and I like that idea. I like to force the hands of our opponents here. So let's see whether we can do that. So what we're going to do then is design this week's ship. It's going to be a heavy cruiser, as you can see. It's going to go up against a heavy cruiser and 2 light cruisers with a slight tech advantage, 1926 to 1922. We do of course need to pick the Germans here, 20,000 meter range, against the Spaniards. Now, of course, the backdrop here is that we need to design that for the Dutch Navy. They want cheap ships, they want reliable ships, and let's see what we can build them. Now, we do have certain requirements here. It is a 12,000 ton maximum ship. Okay, we probably need to pick the smallest tile here. 12,000 ton minimum ship, maximum displacement, maximum 8-inch calibers, very long range, that's a requirement, and it needs to go at least 27 knots. Of course, that is more than, we have more than that at the moment, but here's the scoring system. If we can sink the enemy heavy cruiser, we're going to get a point. For winning the battle, we're going to get a point. For no critical hits suffered on our end, we are going to get a point. And if we can build the cheapest ships and one with a radio. Now, cheap, there's only one tower here. How about the secondaries? Yeah, let's go for the slightly cheaper one. And the radio, we do need advanced to score a point here. Wow, that's 700,000. So the big question is here, do we want to forfeit that? Because it's really not that useful. Now that would cost us potentially a point, but it would potentially give us a point for being the cheapest ship, and it would force the hands of our opponent. So let's think about that for a moment here. Engine efficiency is fine in that regard. Now again, what we're not going to do is we're going to not manipulate any of these things here because they're just too expensive to do, except for now centerline guns. Well, here's the thing. Last time, we were fairly successful without using our torpedoes. Our torpedoes, we had 8 of them, I think, and we put all 8 of these torpedoes on the enemy light cruiser and actually the destroyers. That helped us sink them, because we really didn't have that much in terms of guns. Now, I'm not sure whether that is going to be a possibility here with this ship, because this is a heavy cruiser. It's not going to turn on a dime. We're going to be having a harder time dodging enemy torpedoes if we come in close. So I'm not entirely sure whether that is going to be viable at all. So how much are you? 180. How much are you? 80. You know what? Let's simply use 6-inch guns here for the moment, And then what we're going to do is we're going to use 2-inch guns for the most part here to basically set the enemy on fire. We've got a slight bit of forward offset here. What if we move all of this here slightly to the rear? Okay, let's place it here. You guys are now displaced for some reason. Jesus. Okay, let's place you there. And then we can place many, many more guns sort of everywhere we please. Let's try to keep these forward facing. I'm not sure whether we need that or whether we can. Well, we can keep it for now. Right, and then I think we'll probably want to move them out a little bit so that they have better rates of fire or better angles of fire. And we should try to use as many of them as possible. That's okay. Well, it's a bit of an issue that we are just so strongly using them to either side here. But I think we're going to be alright. Right, let's actually use them like such. And then what I do want to use... Look at that. It's an anti-aircraft cruiser, that's what it is. But what I do want to do is I want to use at least a couple of torpedo tubes. So, simply so that we can get the enemy if we do get close to them. And I want at least one as a reserve, sort of. Can we do that? Can we move you a little bit to the rear here? And then maybe you in there somehow? Maybe if we rotate you? No? Okay. I admit it's a little bit goofy to put it sort of in there in the rear here. Okay, it does actually have a certain range there. Bit of a forward offset here, that's okay. It's a weird design with that sort of citadel layout with this slightly one torpedo tube there hatching out to the front. Okay, it's a lot of small guns here, but oh, we can place one over there. Yeah, but it's only a single barrel. No, I don't think I want that. Right. So we do have Lydites. Let's use super heavy shells. I do think we want barbettes. They shouldn't be that expensive. No, just 20,000. That's a bargain. How about anti-flooding? Yeah, maybe. At least 2 levels. It's 40,000. I think 2 levels should be fine. I do think we want at least standard bulkheads. Ooh, this is expensive. This is expensive already. We probably want the torpedo to be fast and at least 19 inches. Ah, now you're badly placed there, right? Come on, let me place it in there. I just realized how that sounded. Come on. Why are you so bothered by these turrets there? Can I maybe put you in here first and then then we're going to use these launchers there? No? Well, it's going to be alright anyway. Okay, that's fine. Let's do it like this. Big question is, do we want to use more torpedoes? We've got 4 at the moment. I think more would be warranted. This is 700,000. I think we might forego that point in the hope of scoring another point, of ensuring that we are scoring another point here for the costs and forcing the other guys to it. I'm not sure that's really what we need to do. Anyway, let's go for the armored bathtub design, where we're basically only using sight armor. Now, how much sight armor do we need? So 2,500 meters, that's 17 inches. So 10 inches should be fine. Let's do a little bit more than that. 15 inches maybe. Secondaries I think we can live with. So the big question is, how expensive are the other guys' ship going to be? Do we want to go for the 600,000 or 700,000 additional costs here? At the risk of increasing that? No, you know what? I don't think we want to do that. Let's accept that we're going to lose a point for that. And hope that we can score all of the other points with this. Hope that we can score the point there for the cheapest ship, because that does lead to the season points. So 12.5 million, slightly less there. I think that is alright. Anything else we want to change? All of these things are just too expensive, so I don't think I want them. How about the Hydro? No. See, again, that's too expensive. So let's just rename it a proper Dutch name. Stealth 17 is going to kill me for that. It's supposed to indicate that this is for firing and for starting fires. Lidard is fine for that. Super heavy. Let's roll. I don't know. Let's see. Really unsure whether... Well, we checked for 8-inch guns. The enemy might get larger than that though. 9-inch, 10-inch? I'm thinking at least. Big question is how many torpedoes are they going to have? Oof, they do have a lot of turrets, I can tell you that. It's at least 5 turrets here. Probably at least 4 on the light cruisers. Let's see about that. Of course, we're going to use our torpedoes only very selectively. Let's put out high explosives on our main guns and see what the enemy brings. Right, our torpedoes are 60 knots, so that is very fast. Hopefully the enemy will not have a big chance there of avoiding these, but we never know. Right, it should be 20,000. Why can't we get to 30 here? Well, I don't know. They should appear somewhere here now. Now, because we don't have any sort of batter spotting or anything, we're going to only spot them pretty late. And they're actually already spotting us. An interesting thing, that's interesting, the light cruiser is already firing on us from somewhere over here, whereas the heavy cruiser is not. He only carries 7-inch guns. Interesting, but it do carry torpedoes, which are slightly awkwardly angled, so you can fire torpedoes to the rear here, but 4 of them at any time. And you don't have a lot of 7-inch guns. That's going to be a funny match here with sort of all smaller caliber guns. Now, you're going to the left there, so let's try to intercept you somewhat. Torpedoes are off, that's good. Oh, stop it. There is already a light cruiser here. Right, the light cruiser also has 7-inch guns, and rapid firing at that, and a lot of 3-inch guns. Triple torpedo tubes there, which don't seem to be in range for now. 6.4, that must be fast torpedo tubes. Well then, let's start firing on him, simply so he's starting to emit smoke. Yeah, he's doing that now. Let's switch fire back to the main guy there. And I suppose at this point we can go to auto. 1.4. Maybe it's actually better to try to hit him. And for him we can certainly go for high explosives. He's got a lot of guns, I mean. 6.4, that probably means he has the smaller caliber torpedoes, and they must be fast too. Now, that's a bit of a disadvantage to us because we don't really have equipment to spot them either way, which kind of means that he can potentially launch at us, and we'll not be able to maneuver out of the way. Let's shift fire towards this guy here because I think our broadside is going to be a little bit more effective there. And the interesting bit is that all of these guys pretty much carry the same main caliber and they all carry torpedoes. So light or heavy cruisers on their side are kind of similar actually. Right, big question here, have you launched already? You're certainly within range. You are not though. Really haven't identified you enough, so let's start to turn inwards a little bit. I want to run closer towards you there. Okay, first hit here, taking 3% of our structural integrity. Not a good start. Not a good start for us at all. We haven't scored a single hit until now. But at least now our secondary guns are coming into play. So that, I think, at least is a good sign. We are starting to identify them. Ooh, that's interesting. So your launchers only carry reduced torpedo loadout? Yes, you do. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Do you have two on either side there, right? Okay, so you've just launched. Let's take a hard swing to the left here. You are carrying an underwater torpedo tube too, but only a single one. Where is it? Front. Okay. Right, we have lost 6% already. Come on now. The Castilla needs to burn. She needs to go up in flames. There are her torpedoes. That is too close for comfort, really. Whew. Look at that. And that would cost us a lot of points for this not just this season. Ooh, you've destroyed a torpedo tube there? Thankfully only the rear one, which is actually fine. But yeah, if we were to get hit by a torpedo here, we would be losing 1 season point for sure, because there is a point to be gained for not destroyed main gun. Jesus. Because there is a point to be earned for not being hit by a torpedo, so that's a straightforward thing. But there are also further points for not suffering any any critical damage, and for not losing a ship. So these would be kind of hard pressed not to. Ooh, look at that trajectory here. Yeah, we are being hit hard. Now, we're not doing as much damage in return though as I would have hoped. How fast are you? 31 knots. I'm sorry about the dog there in the background. Alright, come on here. Just do put a lot of fire on her. That heavy cruiser there in the rear is also kind of worrying. They've got a lot of small guns too. She's starting to reload her 3-inch guns, her 3 torpedo tubes there, but that will take a while. Well, at least she is starting to take some damage there. 82%, that is good. By the way, you haven't launched any torps yet. I think we are too close to her, so that is probably what is saving us for the moment there. But we do need to keep an eye on the Miguel de Cervantes. She is doing a weird maneuver there. Yeah, because she has launched her torps. And that does mean we need to get out of the way here a little bit. Oh. Oh. Oh! So because you turned away, you were able to use your torpedo tubes on the other side there. Now, what I need to do then is... we need to thread the needle here and try to come in just between these two torpedoes, as we're doing now. Wow. Okay. I did not expect her. I was thinking that she's still in the process of reloading there, and I discounted the potential that she would launch these torps there, which certainly was a wrong call from my side. Right, that being said, since we are on the left turn here, let's continue that left turn. Continue firing on that light cruiser there. And hopefully put her out of commission there, because she's also still got her bow torpedo tube, so we need to be mindful of that too. Whew, that was too close for comfort there, really. At least the other guy is now going to take a moment to reload, hopefully. Right, let's come close to water. I do think the closer we are, the more damage we're going to do. I don't necessarily want to waste a torpedo on her. If we can bring her down just by secondary gunfire here. We are scoring a lot of hits here. And she's down to 50% or so, but that doesn't have to be very decisive. Okay, flooding, that's good. Flooding and engine damage, that is very, very lovely. Problem though is we are now coming in behind her, and that means she is gonna She's not going to suffer more flotation damage there because we can't really hit the bow at this angle. Well, I'm saying that, but the bow is actually already flooded, so that is going to be alright. She's going to sink now any second, I think, if we can score more flooding hits, please, to one more of her compartments, really. Which apparently we are not doing. 0.1%. She's just hanging on there. That's pretty much the minimum design. Her crew must be throwing everything overboard to just keep her afloat at that point. Yeah, that light cruiser there is probably going to be able to reload soon, and I'm guessing that the heavy cruiser here has already launched, apparently. So what, you've got more torpedo reloads? Increased torpedo loadouts, yes. That is unfortunate. We'll be having a hard time closing in with her. Jesus, she is resilient. Okay, you know what? I think we need to come back towards her, finish her off first, because I don't think the heavy cruiser there is going to be very approachable to us unless she fired off a lot of her torpedoes. Come on now. Just put a single dent in her. There we go. There, the torpedoes, lovely. Let's switch to the other light cruiser there. She has reloaded her torpedo tubes. Okay, she has fired them actually. Let's continue on our turn here. Okay, I would like to get closer to her, but with these torpedoes in the water, we shouldn't be too close. Right, so that is alright now. Come on, do more damage. We need to keep an eye on the heavy cruiser there. She's got 20 torps left, so that's at least 5 salvos. And some underwater torpedo tubes. The underwater torpedo tubes I'm not too worried about. They're just usually single torpedoes, which normally you can avoid if you can, at least, unless you're super destroyer there. We are broadsiding her basically. That's not good. Okay, how fast are you guys? You are 31 knots design speed. I'm hoping to bring that down as we're sailing here parallel towards her, but yeah, at least we're closing in, I think. 3.2 kilometers. Heavy cruiser, still 20 torps on her. Single torpedo on her. If she turns in towards us, we need to avoid. Otherwise, I think we're going to be alright. Main tower. I think she soon will start to suffer some flooding damage and then potentially engine damage, and at that point we will be able to catch her. By the way, how fast are you? 26 knots. We are down to 24. But I'm hoping that we can catch up with her just by cutting in her arcs and such. She actually lost a little bit of steering here. Now that is going to be relevant. Okay, let's send one torpedo her way. Just a single one. I hope that with the reduced steering, that is going to hit home, and she's not going to be able to avoid that. She might. She's a light cruiser. She is nimble, but yeah, she's going to avoid that. No! No! Nice! Okay, see, that's lovely. Good hit there. But we only have... Oh, look at that. She has launched. Yeah, let's try to go this way because I'm not entirely sure where we were pointing when she did launch. At any rate, she is now turning to the right there, so that is probably the right call here. Still 16 torpedoes, and where are your underwater tubes? They are side-mounted, aren't you? Yeah, side-mounted torpedo tubes. Right. I am hoping, though, that we are going to be able to get out of these tops. But yeah, look at that. Even at this distance, and even at spotting them pretty early, that was a tough call there. Come on. We need to do some damage here against her, and I'm really not sure just how well we'll be able to do that. By the way, maximum bulkheads, that is unfortunate. 5.6 inches of belt armor. Yeah, I mean, we can be happy that she's only carrying 7-inch guns, which I think Spartan just at some point said, no, this is not a real heavy cruiser. But, you know, it is in the game, so... Okay, soon our secondary guns are going to open up on her. But I am worried about the torpedo launchers there. Do we want to keep our distance here? Potentially we should. Potentially we should. We should not completely discount the underwater torpedo tubes either. Especially if we need to take her on from slightly to the rear. She will be able to fire them as we are overtaking her. The issue is, if we're exposing our side, so that we can get our 2-inch guns in action, we are going to be a much better target for her than the other way around. Then if we're just pointing at her, coming straight at her, allowing her to cross our T, she would be able to do much more against us than actually in a parallel course like this, because she's going to be able to penetrate a lot more. Only 5.3-inch chance to hit her there. We really haven't done much damage against her at all. But I am so worried about closing in. Let's keep it at least 4 kilometers here until she's launched the next salvo there. And then we can see about the next steps here. All the while taking fire though. I would love to close in more with her, but what we can do is once she's launched, we can turn inwards. That leaves a slightly less margin for error, but it's going to be something. Come on now. Just reload so we can travel towards you. We did score a hit there, but only 2%. Yeah, our guns really are not doing enough damage here at all. But the smaller guns are so cheap that I think it is still the right call. 5 kilometer range here. Well within her torpedo range. Well within that. Come on now. And... yeah, here we go. Hard turn to the left. We're going to come straight at her. I mean, she still has 12 plus 6 launches left, but... right, I'm hoping that that turn is hot enough. We will see their torpedoes streaming to the right here. We've got plenty of ammo left. We should have potentially reduced that. Did we? Don't think we did. No, we didn't. Yeah, we should have done that. Okay, that was a good dodge there. But she still has 3 more reloads. And we didn't even get close to the water. We're still at 68, they are 96. Of course we could send a torpedo her way, but there's no chance of hitting her. Not from sort of a rear aspect. This distance doesn't work at all. She's cost us another percentage points there in our strength. Damage to her torpedoes? That's lovely, but I would really just destroy them. Come on now. Can we get a whole bunch of secondary guns on her? Please. Damage to the funnel. The range is way down, which is concerning because she's almost half to reloading her torps. And so many of our guns are out of action, specifically the rear one there. That one. We're doing minuscule damage here against her, but it is piling up, so that is at least good. But at this distance I will not be able to dodge her torps. We need to get out of here. We need to be at least a little bit further away. Let's give her a good salvo here as we are departing. Or turning slightly away. I mean, even her underwater tubes at this distance, I could potentially not avoid them. Yeah, but you can see the accuracy on the 2-inch guns is dropping away so quickly. But we're down to 24 knots. How fast are you exactly? Pretty much the same, actually. No, we are slightly slower still. Okay, let's do turn towards her. Have her fired specifically directly at us then. But that's still even 2 more reloads there, and our main, pretty much everything here on our end is taking a lot of damage. Though we have brought her down by more than 17% here. But so far everything is looking up. No engine damage, no nothing yet. Okay, let's turn a little bit to the right here. I do want to give her the impression that I'm going to be sailing there. And then we are going to do a hefty left turn here. And come inside right behind her. Jesus, this is too close for comfort. This is pretty close. Whew. 2 more salvos there, but I don't think we are going to be. We can't close in fast enough with her. Is the thing to really get our torpedoes in before she does. Specifically, not since she does have the reserve of the underwater torpedo tubes there. Maximum bulkheads. Good armor, good-ish armor, I would say. We can try to send a single torpedo her, but I really don't want to risk it. And that was already a little bit too close for comfort there. We are going to stand to lose a lot of points if we're going to be torped here. She's down to 77%. I mean, that's going our way here with the gun duel. But I'm not actually sure that the torpedo duel is going our way. Which is curious. I mean, that was the sort of thing that we did try in after all, right? Yeah, we just need to be patient here. No need to rush this. She is faster than us. We cannot close in with her. She's actually starting to run a little bit low on ammo there. And she's still more than twice as much main caliber guns than as we do. But still. We are at a good enough distance here so that maybe if we run a parallel course, we can get a good amount of ordnance on her. As I said, we are actually, I think, winning the gun duel, even though it will depend a lot on the range. 72%. Let's keep an eye on her fully. 71%. 70%. I really wonder why she's not using her underwater torpedo tubes. Is it a speed thing? Is it only like you can launch them below 8? Oh no, I think that was below below the waves. Rule the waves. Right, she is getting a bit far away there. Yeah, but we are getting her because it's just the shells are going to penetrate a lot better rather than deflecting. Okay, she's down to 69. We're down to 60. And soon these torps there are going to be launched. And at which point I probably need to turn away because turning in is going to be too risky. Let's not use valuable seconds here. And yeah, there we go. Turn away. Gonna do a full circle here, hoping that these torps are gonna pass way over there. And that is next to her last salvo. She's down to 65, we're down to 59. That's a lot of torps there. But I think 19 knots on our side, 22 on her, Yeah, our funnel was a little bit too small to begin with, but hopefully at least. Yeah, I mean, we are very far away now because of that turn away from her, obviously, but she's down to her last salvo there, so I'm hoping at least, if we can put her on fire a little bit more reliably there, I do think we have a good chance of winning the gun duel. Mostly due to our armor. And as you guys know, I really like my armored bathtub design. And by the way, call out again there for Brother Monroe for calling it that. But it is kind of funny. Right, 60% on her, 58 on us. We are going to overtake her in damage soon. And we are actually now faster than her, which is also very lovely indeed. Just need to make sure that she's losing these torps so that we can come in close and be really aggressive about it. I'm not sure at which point we could pen her. Yeah, we could actually pen her at... I mean, yeah, that's plus 100%, so probably not on the 2-inch guns. Yeah, like not at all, but partial pens would even be nice. I mean, this is a slugging match. This is 5 times speed. This is as fast as I can go. And still you can see just... Yeah, but soon I think it's going to accelerate once she's launched the other torps there. She is on fire. How much damage did she suffer from fire? Not a lot. So maybe the name of our ship this time around isn't fully appropriate. And again, stealth is going to kill me for that. Okay, come on now. I know you want to taunt me. I know you do. Just get your torps ready there. We're too close, we're too close. Ooh, she lost steering. She lost steering. That's very lovely. And torps in the water? Yes. Turn away again. Destroy torpedo. I think it's the rear one. I'm hoping it's the rear one. That would be kind of crummy. Right, there goes the torps. There go the torps, passing very nearly away from us. Okay. Her damage steering is lovely because that makes her more susceptible to damage from our torpedoes. She will not be able to avoid them that easily. That being said, we are coming in from behind her. It's a nearly impossible angle. Even if she angles away slightly, that intercept point is gonna be avoided by her. So that's just not gonna help us out for the moment. But if we do get a little bit closer here and maybe can cut into her way a little bit more. And we still need to be very mindful about our underwater torpedo tubes, but that being said, I think we might have a chance here. We actually out-damaged her with our guns too, so that is another thing to keep in mind there. Right, we're not going to be able to do that right now, but I think soon-ish. Right, 2 kilometers there. Again, the underwater torpedo tubes do give me some pause here of closing in. These are excellent defensive weapons, practically. Yeah, let's try to come in behind her rather than alongside her. I'm too worried about that otherwise. Is she going to turn in, though? No, I don't think so. She's at 50%. We had 56. It is a slugging match, but I think it's a good one. Right, let's actually de-accelerate it. So she's still running 20 knots. That is pretty fast. At least if we do want to torp her. If only we could do some damage here against... I mean, we are spitting out fire towards her. So she's turning. Well, isn't that interesting? Okay, you know what? Let's try to launch a single torp at her. I'm guessing we can do that from here even. We've placed that to the front there, right? So, I'm not sure whether we do have a torpedo tube left, actually. That would be unfortunate. Don't we have any torpedo tube left? I'm not sure whether the one in the rear there... At some point it said one of them is destroyed. But I might have missed the other one. Ooh, come on now, come on now. Yeah, I think our torpedo tubes are done for. Damaged turtles, but that's probably the ones that have already fired anyway. Yeah, we're not firing. So we do need to bring it down with our guns. And be super careful about her torpedoes. Maybe we still have a torpedo tube in the rear. That's why I'm trying to come a little bit like such that maybe they're going to launch. And I think not. We are pretty damaged. I'm not sure whether the other guys are going to be able to do this with a smaller ship or cheaper ship. We are also running out of ammo here. But she is down to 40%. Come on now. 39%. Destroy torpedo, but it's not going to be destroyed underwater torpedo tubes is the thing. Okay, let's do a hard turn here. Try to be behind her so that she can't really reliably use her torps. Come up very close to her, do a lot of damage. Hopefully do a sweeping run here with our 2-inch guns. She's just fired pretty much all of her main guns there. And again, our torpedoes don't seem to be working well today. We've got a single torpedo off. Oh, come on now. Come on now. You've got so many 2-inch guns. 32%. Destroyed fires. That's all good, but also destroyed engine there. That's actually very lovely. 2 destroyed engines. She's down to 28%. Let's try to come a little bit in. Keep the distance close. Yeah, our accuracy here now is fantastic. So that is lovely. So let's see. Let's see how many, whether we can, I think we can got the 4 points only, right? We don't have anything in terms of the, what's it called, radio. Right, come on, 24, 52. Why did we lose all of our torps? So many hits on her, but destroyed funnel, fires. She's able to put out these fires though way too quickly. I mean, historically, fires were a real big danger towards any enemy ship. Any friendly ship too. 20%. Come on, can we get her at all? She's going down so slowly now that we've pretty much destroyed most of her superstructure. It's really hard to get her to suffer more. And I'm still worried about these torps. She can still fire them at us. I don't think they are disabled. They are below the waterline. They are relatively safe, at least from these smaller shells. We've expended all of our ammo on the main guns. So it's pretty much only the secondaries coming in, but you can see we are racking up hundreds and hundreds of of hits here. We've actually hit her more than 2,000 times. Well, not her, but all of the ships. All of the enemy ships. She's down to 15%. Come on, come on, come on. I mean, we are at 100% hit chance here. Whittling her down just by sheer volume of fire. Not even all of our guns are firing. You can see these two there are not currently firing. Come on now, 49% on us, 12% on him. He's down to 8 knots. He can still turn pretty fast though. Destroyed funnel, 10%. She's burning. I mean, we're just, at this point, it just feels like we have vultures circling her. %. But she has that one bite left in her. If she can turn quickly enough to expose her underwater torpedo tubes, we are going to be done for. I mean, we still have 33,000 shells. 7%. Hits and hits and hits and hits there, but... I mean, look at her hull. She's... Most of her hull at this point is just... burned out. The big question is, what design did my competitors choose? Stealth 17, he might very well be going for the cheapest ship. He's very competitive, and so is Spartan Elite. But knowing Spartan, he really likes his big guns. So I don't think that necessarily he's going to be able to try that out. He's probably going to go for 8-inch guns as well. Brother Monroe, real wildcard. He's done some very beautiful designs last season. So let's see about that. Right, 1%. Come on now, do take her out. That should give us at least 3 points. And if it's the cheapest ship, it will be 4 points. We have not used the radio, but everything else should stand as is. So I'm hoping at least, and we're still eligible for the torpedoes, for everything else. So I think we need to hit yes here, and then we can see the design. Yeah, there we go. So no radio, 12.4 million, still cheaper than a lot of the light cruisers, quote unquote, that the other guys bought around last time. And more of an anti-aircraft platform, really, than anything else. That being said, I hope you enjoyed. Do leave a like, and do watch everyone else's videos too. Bye bye.